Link for the final project file is in the description. You can download and play around with the scene. Okay, let's go. First, add an 4-side spline, rotate it to XZ, go to top view, make it editable, come to point mode, select these 2 points, make them soft interpolation, T for scale them a little bit, come back to model mode, add a symmetry object, put the spline inside symmetry, come to radial. For the slice count, enter 4, select the spline, push it outward until you are happy, add a spline mask, put symmetry inside the spline mask, change the axis to XZ, save the file for now. Let's name it minimal flower v1.1 live. Add everything inside an extrude object. On the extrude, change offset to 0. Put the extrude inside the subdivision surface. Put everything inside the remesher. Remesh. Check the symmetry X and symmetry Z for the remesh. That's good. Let's push out the spline a little bit more. Add the remesh inside the null. Add a spherified deformer inside the null. Push out the spherified deformer. Come to side view. Select the spherify. For the radius, enter something like 300. For the strength, enter 100. Push out the spherify to the top. That's good for now. Add everything inside the thicken generator. For the values, change the thickness to 15. For the subdivision, enter 2. Add everything inside the null. Put the null inside the subdivision surface. It's better to add a fonge tag on the subdivision surface. Change for fonge. That's better. Everything inside another null. Come here, add a smoothing deformer. That's much better. Okay, save the file. Add a sphere in the middle of the flower. Push it up. Come to top view. You can scale it down even more. Make sure it is not intersecting with the body of the flower. That's good. Put everything inside the null. Name it petal. Okay, now let's make the sepal. Add a sphere. Make it hexadron. Decrease its segment to 10. Also add a cylinder. For now, let's hide the petal. Change the orientation for sepal to something like positive Z. Let's push the sphere to this side and both of them to this side. On the sphere, height segment, change it to 3. For the rotational segment, change it to 8. Add a correctional deformer under cylinder. Come to edge mode. And make sure the correctional deformer is selected on edge mode. Come to line view. Come to lines view. Select this edge. Make it bigger. Select this edge loop. Make it smaller. Also select both of these edges and make them smaller too. Play with the size of edge loop until you get something like this. That's good for now. Add these two primitives inside the null. Add everything inside the symmetry object. On the symmetry object, change it to radial. And for a slice count, make it 6. That's good. Let's also add everything inside the voxel builder. And voxel builder inside voxel remesher. On the voxel builder, change the voxel size to something like 5. Put everything inside the remesher, remesh generator. On the remesh generator, change the mesh density to 3. Also hit the symmetry Z button. That's good for now. Put it inside the null. Add a smoothing deformer. Change the iteration to a lower value, something like 2 for now is okay here. Add everything inside the subdivision surface. Put everything inside the null. Rename it to sepal. Save the file. Make the petal visible again. And A. That's good for now. Duplicate these two. Put it inside the null. Name it as archive. Make it invisible. Because we need to clone this sepal and remesh generator doesn't like that, we will make this sepal under subdivision surface. editable with connect object plus delete. And don't worry, we have the main procedural cpol inside the archive. We can grab it out and change it anytime we want. Let's also push down the cpol a little bit. Add a cloner, put the cpol inside cloner, change the cloner to linear, make the count something like 6, change the mode to endpoint, change this py to minus 1500, come to side view. That's good for now. While the cloner is highlighted, add a plane object here, come to parameters, check off position, turn on rotation, change the pH to something like 50. Also check on a scale, uniform scale, and change this value to something like 4.2. Come to fields, add a linear field here. On the linear field, change it to something like positive Y and increase its length. Come to side view, increase its length even more, push it down until it covers everything. On the linear field, change it back to minus Y. That's better. On the linear field, come to color remap, change it to gradient, and use these grayscale values. We are almost there. Save the file. Select both of these cloner and plane object, put it inside a null, rename it to cpol. But also add a camera, add a null as in targets, rename it to target. On the camera, add a target tag, drag and drop the target null as a target object. On the camera, hit Alt 0 to push it at the center. To reset its coordinates, push the camera up, come to focal length, change it to 120. Come here, add a new view panel, make it bigger, change the default camera here to RS camera, keep it somewhere here, and push the camera up until you're happy about the frame here. I think this is good for now. Save the file. Let's enable RS render view here. Hit on play. For this view, come to view, use render view. That's good. Let's add arrow lights. Let's add a DOM light. Come here on browser, search for HDRI. Minimize this view for now. I love this HDRI. Drag and drop it on the texture for the DOM light here. That's good. Let's also add a main light, main infinite light for the scene. Duplicate the target tag from camera to this light. Go to top view. First go to side view. Push the light up a little bit. Go to top view. Change its position and you can see you get different results. On the infinite light, change the exposure to something like 2.5. Come to details. For the softness of shadow, change the value to something like 20. Save the file. Let's also add a rim light. Duplicate the infinite light here. On this new light, check off cast shadow option. Come back to object, change the exposure to something like 2. Come to side view. Change the position for the rim light to a very sharp angle for now. Okay, let's make our materials. Turn off the render view for now. Save the file, minimize it, open the material panel here, double click, add a material, open it. On the RS standard material node for subsurface scattering, change the value of weight to something like 0.07. For the scale, change it to 2.2. For the anisotropy, change it to half. For the sample, increase it to something like 500. Let's change the base color. For the base color, I would select the reddish color here. Okay. Also select the same color on the subsurface tab. For the reflection, weight, decrease it to something like 0.06. For the roughness, change it to 0.6. For the ROI, change it to 0.01. For easier control on color, you can add a color node here, color node. Copy this color, come to hexadecimal code, copy it, come to color, paste that code here, and now you can also come to RS standard, come to subsurface, add this as a port here, connect this color, these two sockets, Now you can easily manipulate the color from this tab. For better understanding of the shading of the material, right click on the material here, change it to a matte. Also decreasing the reflection weight seems make a more pleasing result, so decrease it to something like 0.3 for now. That's good. Let's come to top view, add this material for the petal, re-enable the render view, that's good. Duplicate this material, come to the color, change its value to more orangish color, add it for the center sphere here, hit on play. I want the petal to be more reddish color, so I will change it color here. I'm happy. Duplicate the material one more time, open it, add the color user data here, change it preset to more graph color, add a ramp here, connect the color user data as an alt input for the ramp. Under ramp, add who preferred color. I will use a green and a blue color of same saturation and value for now. That's good. And connect this ramp to the color for base and subsurface. Add this material on the cloner object, hit play on RS render view again, and as you can see we have a hue change for this sepal from top to bottom. And that was all for this video. Bye bye.